Good evening. My name is Andrew Proctor. I'm the Director of Literary Arts.
Good evening. My name is Olivia Jones-Hall, and I'm the Director of Youth Programs at Literary Arts.
Welcome to the 14th annual Verselandia. We are so excited that you are here. For those of you unfamiliar with Literary Arts, we're a nonprofit literary center with a mission to engage readers, support writers, and inspire the next generation with great literature. Our programs include Portland Arts and Lectures, the largest lecture series in the country, which hundreds of students come to every single year for all year round. We run the Oregon Book Awards and Fellowships program, which I fully expect many of these poets will one day win one of those book awards in the future. Yeah, they definitely will. We run the Portland Book Festival. This year, it's Saturday, November 7th, 2026. It is free for everyone 17 and under, so we hope you'll join us here in the Art Museum and all along the park blocks, where there are author events, readings, youth workshops, a book fair, and a lot of other amazing programming for everybody. And finally, we run the Archive Project. It's a radio show and podcast on OPB. We did a whole episode on Verselandia just a couple weeks ago, and we will do a whole episode next year on Verselandia and broadcast these poems, and many of them statewide, which we're super proud to do. And if you can get involved with Literary Arts, you can check our website. We have a brand new building at 716 Southeast Grand Avenue with a bookstore and a cafe. It is emphatically all ages. So we hope you'll come and join us, hang out, drink coffee, read great books, and perform there too.
Youth Programs brings a suite of creative writing initiatives to more than 4,000 students a year across Portland, East Multnomah County, and Woodburn. One of those programs is, of course, Verselandia, which you are here to witness tonight. Yeah, no, it's great. Go ahead. I don't know. It's like awkward, kind of. Yeah, that was great. Verselandia is a collaboration between literary arts and public high school librarians, many of whom are sitting right here in our front row. We love librarians. Yes. Hell yeah, librarians. As well as many other educators and volunteers. We're here tonight because of the initiative and incredible efforts year-round of these organizers of school slams. So just huge thank you to them. A thank you also to the youth programs team, Alberto Swem and Paige Thomas, and a special thank you to Jenna Nishimura and Juliet Rusev for the event production tonight. So please join me in thanking just all of these wonderful people who made it possible. Also, we have an incredible lineup of judges. We have timekeepers and math folks who our MC will introduce in a few minutes.
We have many fine friends and sponsors who help make sure this evening's possible. I already want to thank our friends, particularly at Wyden Kennedy, including Gina Childs, Mary Norman, and Scott Kleiner, who's here. They have been a partner of this organization for 40 years and have been a wonderful supporter of many cultural activities in the city, including this one. If you give a round of applause for Wyden Kennedy, please, I'd be grateful. I also want to thank our media sponsors, including Finn Partners, OPB, Paper Trees Creative, Weinstein PR, and a huge thank you to the leadership of P5 and all the amazing crew who do work for us year-round and are doing incredible work for us tonight. If you could give them a round of applause, I'd be very grateful. And I want to thank all of you, all the individuals who support youth by supporting literary arts. Showing up here tonight is super powerful. Can you just raise the house lights for just a second? Would you mind doing that for me?
So we can see everybody.
Just look around at this incredible group of people who are here to support student poetry. This is the biggest hall in the concert. It's amazing. It is really, really beautiful that you're here. You can put those down again if you want, or whenever you're ready.
We're done with that.
The stories that these young people have to tell are important, and they need to be heard, and you're here listening to them, and that is a big deal, and really matters. Their voices matter, and you're showing them that. Our ability at Literary Arts to create this moment, this incredible hall, filled with young people and community members, depends on you. Each year we reach over 4,000 young people, thanks to Olivia and her incredible youth programs team. Please consider supporting literary arts with a gift to support poetry in the city. I would appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So tonight, you're going to hear from 21 competing students, but 22 poets, if you know the drill, from 12 schools. And there are prizes. Obviously, this is about the poetry, not about the points, but there are prizes. Okay, fourth and fifth prize, $250. Great, yeah. Third place is $500. Second place is $750. Let me get through it. $750. And first place is $1,000. You can clap now.
All right, I'm now thrilled to introduce our MC for the evening. I think you probably already know her, but it's Julia Gaskill. Is a poet and organizer hailing from right here in Portland, Oregon. She has competed multiple times on national spoken word stages and toured across North America. Her work has been published in Freeze Ray Poetry, Pile Press, and Vagabond City Lit, and many other anthologies. Her debut collection of poetry, Weirdo, was published by Game Over Books Press in 2022. Julia runs the monthly poetry mic slam series Slamlandia, which takes part in part at Literary Arts, and she's the co-creator and lead organizer of the Bigfoot Poetry Festival, which takes place in downtown Portland for its 5th time this June. She was elected to the board of the Oregon Poetry Association in 2024, and she was the 2025 Carolyn Moore Writers House resident. When not writing poetry or organizing events, Julia can be found binging the latest must-watch TV, exploring the Pacific Northwest with her husband, or just walking your dog. Please give us a warm welcome to Julia Gaskill.
All right, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. My name is Julia Gaskill. My pronouns are she and her. I will be your MC for this evening, and this is Verselandia. Welcome. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being here. This is my second time getting to host this event, but before I hosted for the first time last year, I came to Verselandia on an annual basis, and it is absolutely one of my favorite poetry things that happens here in the city of Portland. There is nothing else like it. There's so much good poetry in this city, but this is like the opportunity for young poets to get on this stage, speak their truths, and with a whole concert hall of people listening to them is absolutely remarkable. So thank you so much for being here. We are in for an absolutely amazing show. I hope that you trust me to be in like my hands for this evening. I have been performing poetry since 2014. I've been competing similar to these students here, and then I have also been running slams as well since 2018. So I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to walk us all through this night. Out of curiosity, make some noise. This is your first time ever being at Verselandia. Okay. I gotta be honest, that's more than I was anticipating. Make some noise if this is your first time ever being at any kind of a poetry slam. All right. Less, but still a fair amount. So just so we're all on the same level, I'm going to go over some just like light rules, the typical slam spiel on how a slam works. We'll meet the judges, do a couple other notes, and then we will dive straight into the poems for this evening. So basically what is going to happen is we're going to have 2 rounds of poetry. We're going to hear from those 21 poets in the first round, have a 15-minute break, come back and see 10 more poets, then award some prizes, and all have a great time together. The poetry slam has been around for a while, and I always think about a dear friend of mine, Anis Mojgani, our previous state poet laureate. The way that he speaks about slam is, because some people are like, slam, why would you make poetry into a competition? Like, as if art isn't unfortunately a competition more often than not. But anyway, that's a side tangent for another day. And the thing with slam is, it's kind of a trick to get people interested in poetry, because there are a lot of people that are like, well, poetry's so boring, or like not a valid art form, and there's always like the every couple of years poetry is dead article. But when people hear that this is a competition, they're like, oh, well, I want to see what a competition looks like. And the trick is that people come to see a competition, they walk away seeing like amazing poems, many of which are going to stick with them for the rest of their lives. And so maybe some of y'all have been successfully tricked into being here, in which I thank you so much. There is an official slam spiel that I do at Slamlandia, the show that I run. I'm going to give y'all a truncated version that's going to walk you through the rules of tonight. So, Poetry Slam is a competition invented in the 80s in Chicago to draw attention to the art of performance poetry, and then is presented for the entertainment of you, the bold and the beautiful audience. Here are some of the rules of the slam for tonight's poets. 1, no props or costumes allowed. 2, no musical acts except for the music that you can create with your body. And 3, there is a 3-minute time limit with a 10-second grace period. And after that 10-second grace period, poets will be penalized for going over time with a docking of half a point for every 10 seconds that they go over. So poets, keep that in mind. This contest will be judged by 5 pre-selected members of our community. The poets will present their work, and then the judges will score the poem anywhere from a 0.0 to a 10.0, evaluating such qualities as performance, content, and originality. The high and low scores of each performance are tossed, and then the middle 3 are added to give the performer their score. That is the spiel. And speaking of judges, we have 5 judges over here who I am now going to introduce to you. Starting on the far end, we have D'Artagnan Calaman. D'Artagnan serves as VP of Philanthropy and Partnership for the 1803 Fund. He is a 7th-generation Portlander with deep ties to Albina. He also has over 25 years working in philanthropy and serving nonprofits in Oregon and across the country. He actually may be a poet himself, but he has nothing on the talent we're going to get to experience this evening. Give it up for D'Artagnan. Sitting next to D'Artagnan, we have Kimberly Melton. Kimberly holds a master's in journalism from the University of California at Berkeley and a bachelor's in African and African American studies from Stanford University. She has more than a decade of leadership experience, including serving as chief of staff to former Multnomah County Chair Deborah Kafori. Early in her career, she was a journalist at the Oregonian and has remained deeply engaged in community leadership and equity-focused initiatives across Oregon. She currently serves as Meyer Memorial Trust's first Vice President of Impact, overseeing all of Meyer's programmatic, grant operations, learning, and evaluation work. Give it up for Kimberly. And then right there, in the middle, we have Marcus Latimer, who is a former NFL running back, collegiate football All-American, and award-winning spoken word artist. A National Freshman of the Year and USC's all-time touchdown leader, his athletic legacy earned him induction into multiple Halls of Fame and an official state holiday in South Carolina. After football, Marcus became Slamlandia's 2024 Grand Slam champion poet and is also a nationally respected keynote speaker and educator. He performs and teaches across the country, blending lived experience, poetry, and leadership into transformative storytelling. Give it up for Marcus Latimer. And then next to Marcus, we have Scott Gallagher. Scott is a storyteller and former college professor who currently serves as the Vice President of GARD Communications. Scott has a PhD in English literature and creative writing from Ohio University, an entrepreneur in his spare time. He also founded a cider business, Yuli's Light Cider. Give it up for Scott. And then finally, on the very end, we have Dawn Isaacs. Dawn serves in the Office of Arts and Culture at the Arts Education Program Manager for the City of Portland. In her role, she works to guarantee access to an excellent arts education for every Portland student. A former teacher and principal, Dawn champions children and youth lifting their voices and adults listening carefully. Give it up for all of your judges this evening. I know we are eager to dive into the poetry, but I do have one last, hopefully quick announcement, which is that I want to give just a general content warning for what we are going to see tonight. There is more than likely going to be plenty of mature material in some of these poems, and we want y'all to know that we are giving the poets the platform to speak their truths, which means we are not censoring them, so you might hear some profanity, you might hear maybe some perhaps graphic material. Please know that we have a support team. We have Mindy Nenefi and Jackie Fitzgerald on hand, so if the students need the support, they know that where to find them and go and see them, as well as the staff of Literary Arts is here to support them as well. So, and then also, while the students maybe be strongly affected by the poems they're doing, speaking as someone who's been to many shows, sometimes you, the audience, might be strongly affected as well. You never know, like, just where you are at emotionally sometimes, speaking from personal experience. If anything does strongly affect you, please do not take attention away from the poets on stage. I always recommend stepping out of the room, catching your breath, and then when you're ready to resume with us, we are happy to have you back in this space. And then finally, it is so important that we support and uplift all of the students who touch the stage tonight. The best way you can do that is you clap for every person who touches this stage. Clap for them. I know that you're probably here maybe like for a specific poet or two, but it everybody. Everybody is here giving you their all, and we want to support and uplift every single one. And also, this is not a stoic-faced open mic. This is a poetry slam, so can I hear some snaps? All right, oh, and some blues too. Can I hear some like foot stomps as well? Foot stomps. Can I hear a collective There we go. Also, speaking from experience, when you're in a slam, it's very scary. It's very scary reading poems to like a room of like 20 people. So imagine getting up on the stage and reading to all of you. I can't see all of you, but I can hear you, and I know there's many of you. So if there is a line that you really connect to, you're really feeling the poem, there's something about it that's speaking to you, give it some snaps, give it some foot stomps. It will give the energy to the poet and like just enhance their performance and give it back to you. Poetry slam is great because it is a trade of energy. So please give those snaps, those foot stomps if you're really feeling the poem. And that's pretty much it. Please be respectful of the poets on the stage. And also, the last thing I will say, please be present, please be here, please support. Okay, are we ready to start this slam? Okay. That's a lot of cheering. The answer is yes, but also like, kind of, because we do need to give the judges a chance to practice. So we're going to bring up a calibration poet. They are not in the slam. They are the chance for the judges to practice scoring as well as calibrating themselves throughout the rest of the night, and also to warm up the audience and be the first poet to read a poem on this stage. So can I get a big round of applause? Our calibration poet this evening from Park Rose High School. Give it up for Alana Mitchell.
To those who struggle, the words, "it gets easier with time," often become persistent. But does it really get easier, or is that just another thing we tell ourselves when shit gets a little too real and emotions we hide come to light? So what do you do when those problems start to dig at you? Clawing their way into each and every layer of your skin, making scars that you'll look back on and remember forever. I remember. I'll always remember. I tried to run away, not caring about the scuff on my shoes or the dust I left behind, but I stumbled and face-planted straight into the dirt. Suddenly I'm caught, tied up with broken memories, captivated by my bad thoughts. I felt the ground beneath me breaking, like a shovel stabbing the surface, puncturing an untattered piece of soil. I remember living in a place where I fought for my life. Every creation shattered, ideas shot down, sparks of happiness I haven't felt in forever stomped out by the foot that stood on my neck. A monster disguised as a guardian angel. You took me out of a bad place so you can be in charge of my torment. Like a devil to the damned, you rule over me. I am trapped in my own personal hell. Strangers from the outside looking in, see you's a saint, one who can do no wrong. But from my perspective, you are nothing. What you are gets no name, no emotion tied to it, something so unbearable that even the words I write cut like knives against my wrists. So when the time comes and I don't fail my escape from this torture, will you stare in my casket and regret it? Will the remorse overcome your body? Could this be the one thing to drop a genuine tear, show that love you spoke so highly about? And I'm in a tear so real it overpowers the rivers I cried on my knees, praying to a God I'm not even sure I believe in to save me. You couldn't grant me a moment of peace, a single second to breathe. Now I'm forced to hope. I hope the next time you tear another little girl down, you think of me. You think of how I suffocated under your control. I hope you know how it makes me feel. I hope you feel deep down in the soul that you say you have, that I would never treat anyone the way you treated me. They say hurt people. So most of all, I hope you stop hurting and get some help so that no one will ever end up like me, buried under feet of dirt, suffocating. Thank you.
That was our calibration poet, Alana Mitchell. This is the longest amount of time I'm going to give the judges for figuring out their scores for this evening, so very quickly I'm going to shout out our timekeepers and math geniuses. This evening we have John Stevens, who has a 37-year banking career, and also Jonathan Levine, who's the treasurer of the board at Literary Arts, doing our math for the evening. And then for timekeepers, we have Anna Howard, the hospitality manager at Whiten & Kennedy, and Scott Kleiner, the head of community and office services at Whiten & Kennedy as well. And also, give it up for DJ Mommy Miami, who's going to be playing music throughout this evening. All right, judges, I have given you way more time than you're going to get the rest of this night. So can you hold up your scores in 3, 2, 1, and keep them up in the air as I go from left to right. From left to right, I have an 8.7, a 9.0, a 9.2, a 9.1, and a 9.1. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Alana Mitchell. And with that, our judges have been calibrated, and we are going to go into the first poet of our slam, so make a lot of noise for Emma York!
Catch light in a spinner. Watch the heartbeat of the world flick up 3 notches. If you know enough, you can predict anything. With enough computational power and knowledge of past events, you can trace anything back as far as you want, the light in your eyes up to the sun, the atoms in the sun, all the way back to the Big Bang. That's a fundamental law of physics. You can extrapolate anything backwards and forwards as far as you want. What that means is, using just the way the atoms are arranged in the world right now, you can know everything you have ever and will ever experience because you know where all of your atoms are going and where they came from. All that, and all information that exists and has ever existed, is still stored on the atoms that used to, store it, right? You can burn the book, but the atoms of ink and parchment still remember the words they used to hold so lovingly. You can kill the man, but that memory of, that night when he went out to see the stars with his family still stays in the atoms of carbon and nitrogen in his brain. And when he dies and gets buried in the soil he is buried in, and the tree that sprouts out of that soil. The past does not die when we leave it. It remains as beautiful and static as when we were inside of it. We may not be in New York, the mathematicians say, but that does not mean that New York does not exist. We may not be in the past, but that does not mean the past does not still exist. We are infinite plates of amber atop each other, each moment a plate. The way you are sitting, the way you are dressed, your expression right now is caught in the light like a microscope slide. And that slide will never go away, even if we cannot access it, stuck hurtling forward in time as we are. Do you remember your first kiss? It doesn't matter. Behind us somewhere are the thousands of moments you spent in that kiss, accessible and viewable. When you die and rot back down into the earth, they can pull up a core sample and piece together what you thought of in that moment. Using just the way the atoms in the universe are arranged right now, they can piece together each of the atoms of you and them, trace them back to the moment you two pressed together, understand all the minutiae of hand placement and posture. All that is to say, you will never be fully forgotten. You, what makes you, your expressions, your personality, your traits will stay in the universe like a stubborn fingerprint on glass, like a file in an archive far too large for us to ever fully parse.
That was Emma York. All right, judges, we're going to get a little faster moving forward the rest of this night. Can I see your scores? Count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold them up. All right, from left to right, I have an 8.4, an 8.8, a 9.0, an 8.5, and a 9.2. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Emma. And give it up for the next poet this evening is Ember Malov. Woo!
This poem is called The End. No one tells you what to do when you lose someone who is very dear to you. They never prepare you for how much it hurts. I
I lost my best friend this year. She's not dead, just dead to me. But no one warned me what it would be like without her. Everything I do reminds me of her, of the fun times we used to have, of when we used to laugh, of when we would spend hours on the phone, of when her home was my home, of when we were still speaking, of when I wasn't weeping. But nothing lasts forever. Everyone is bound to leave at some point. I just wish it didn't hurt so damn much. But why did it have to be this way? Why did she have to break me apart, taking all the pieces and making new scars? Now whenever I think of her, it hurts my heart. I can't even bring myself to delete the playlists we made. Can't bear to get rid of the pictures we took. Can't take down the posts because then it's real. You've changed so much last time I looked. And don't even talk to me about acceptance. Acceptance is the final stage of grief, and I haven't even made it past the first 3. Denial. This isn't happening. Anger. How could you do this? Depression. I miss the person I used to know. How do you accept when you lose one of the only things you've ever known? I miss her so much it hurts, but not as much as it hurt being her friend. So maybe, just maybe, it's a good thing it ended. But it didn't just end, it crashed and burned, frayed beyond repair. I know I'll never be able to return. It was like an addiction I had to kick, I had to get out. It was making me sick. And maybe it's for the best. But right now, the best could be a hell of a lot better. I still know so much about her. Little things. I still know the names of her dogs. I still know the scent she wears. I still know her middle name. I even still know her favorite soda. And it makes me hate everything. I hate her so much, it's eating me alive. When I was her friend, I was just trying to survive, crying my eyes out in a fucking dressing room backstage while she was out there performing and being fake. I miss her so much, but also not at all. Sometimes I hope she does well in life. Sometimes I hope she's left with no one at all. So here's me saying, I wish her well in the end, but I also hope she learns you can't treat people like shit and expect to keep your friends. So now our story is over. And I'm closing the book. The end. That was Ember Malov. All right, judges, y'all already now should know what to do. Let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. All right, from left to right, I have a 9.0, a 9.2, a 9.2, a 9.3, and a 9.0. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Amber. And continue making some noise and give it up for your next poet. It is Mila Gomez.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the American Dream Airline Flight 404 service to the land of the free. We are so glad to have you on board today. To ensure all of our passengers feel comfortable, remember, keep all cultural identity hidden beneath the seats in front of you for the duration of this flight. Fasten your seatbelts and remain seated unless instructed otherwise. Listen. Don't talk, just listen. Stop talking. Federal regulations do not allow you to be loud and Latina at the same time. If you continue to talk, please stay seated. If you are seated, please stop talking. Federal regulations require that you comply with everything that we tell you to do. Stepping out of line may result in consequences. Please remain seated. Please remain seated. Please remain seated. Any act of resistance will result in removal from the cabin. For the safety of those around you, there are 4 emergency exits located on this aircraft. Please keep in mind that the closest exit may be behind you. Do not attempt to locate them. All movement will be forced upon you courtesy of cabin crew. Attention. Cabin air is no longer being distributed equally among passengers. Masks will drop from the ceiling. Please assist others before securing your own. Unfortunately, equality is not provided in your section of this aircraft. Therefore, there will not be a mask made available to you. Why are you complaining? Is it not enough that we let you on to this plane? Now remain seated and only speak if you are spoken to. Please remain seated. Without your compliance, how will we keep things running so smoothly? Don't fight back, I mean. Please remain seated. This is not your life, I mean. Flight to control. Please remain seated. Please remain seated. Please remain seated. You were never in control of the seat that you were given. Your resistance is causing unexpected turbulence. Please disregard any sense for autonomy. If you feel you are being spoken to unfairly, don't worry, that sensation will pass shortly. You are not being targeted, you are being processed. Now remain calm as we correct your expectations of freedom. The American Dream Airline would like to thank you for flying with us today. It's time to wake up now.
In 3, 2, 1, hold them up, keep them up. From left to right, I have a 9.5, a 9.5, a 9.5, a 9.4, and a 9.5. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Mila. And keep that applause going for your next poet on the mic. It is Victoria Garduno-Tran. Woo!
Growing up, one of the biggest things I hated about myself was the fact that I'm biracial. My brain couldn't handle me being colored in not just one way, but two. The people around me never understood it either. I was always too different. I so desperately wanted to be one race to the point where it was an internal battle which I liked more. And I've grown to feel so disconnected from both my cultures because of it. I saw all the beautiful parts of my race as a burden. I hated my hair. I hated the way it could be curly or straight. I hated the thickness of it, how it always felt like there was too much, and my mother paid extra for the hairdresser to thin it out. I hated my features, the way I looked at myself and felt like I was two puzzles forced into one. I hated my skin color, the way I felt off-colored as nobody's color was the same as mine, as the bloodline of two countries mixed into me. I never fit in. People looked at me with confusion, not like I was a person. People asked my race before my name like that was the most important thing about me. And when I told them, they would act shocked, look at me as in awe, or as if I'm rare, or as if I never should have been made. They deny my race, saying I'm different from what I claim. Once I told two people I was Mexican and Asian, and they said, no, you're not. You're either Mexican or you're Asian. You are not both. I was a museum. I was always made to feel like an object for others' observing pleasure. I want to be both. I don't want to be one. In 1,000 years, when the archaeologists dig up my bones, they won't find Mexican or Asian, they will just find a girl. I want to embrace the beauty that I have within, the magic of having the blazing sun in Mexico, the heat that shine on all my ancestors, the hard workers that work day and night, no matter the weather, they are where I inherit the color of my skin. The magic of having the jungles and the greenery of Vietnam. The hard workers who work day and night in the rice fields, they are where I inherit the color of my skin. The magic of having both the islands of Vietnam and the beaches of Mexico run through me. They are where I inherit the color of my skin. All that beauty I've never been able to accept or express. Nobody around me understood it either. I've been shunned by Mexicans for being too Asian and shunned by Asians for being too Mexican. My family outcasted me. It's frowned upon to be a half-blood. I've inherited the sin of my parents' forbidden interracial love. I so desperately yearn to go to my home countries one day. I want to walk off that plane and breathe in the air of the motherland. I want to feel that sense of belonging I've never had once in my life. I want to gain my family's love and acceptance, no longer being less than for the blood I didn't want to receive.
That was Victoria Garduna-Tran. All right, judges, let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. All right, from left to right, I have an 8.4, an 8.5, an 8.7, an 8.5, and an 8.9. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Victoria. And give it up for your next poet on the mic. It is Lily Calvert. Woo.
Dear white people, my skin is dark, but I guess I'm not dark enough. You talk about how bad you want to be black until it's time to be a real nigga. You tell me my hair is nappy and ghetto, they go on and copy our hairstyles, braids, dreads, tracks, perms. You say I'm not black enough, or you're too black for the white girls. What gives them the right to define me? You call me black, you call me ghetto until you hear me talk. You call us ghetto for having natural big butts and lips. BBL, anyone? Lip filler? You say we're ghetto for the way we dress and talk, but I remember that street style is all they wear. What about those black skins? We aren't as ghetto as you make it seem. Orange is the new black, until white girls get their tan on. You tell me I look like a man or androgynous because I have an afro? You tell me I can only celebrate half of Black History Month because I'm only half black, but you go on and celebrate every other month. You make us write essays about history, but what about black women who aren't Rosa Parks? I'm told I can't write about Mary Turner, a pregnant black woman who was violently lynched. When will our lives matter? When will our voices be heard? I'm told slurs don't mean what they did back then while we have a racist and a rapist as our president. And that's my question. Why? It's privilege. White privilege. White privilege because they have at least one student of color at their school, so they think they're cool with jokes. White privilege because they have always looked like everyone in the room, and I have yet to have a black teacher. White privilege because they got too comfortable having a black friend, so they think they aren't racist when they were making jokes about our skin or stereotypes on what we eat. Negro isn't offensive until it's a white man saying it around his students of color. It's not the N-word, but was still created by white folks because y'all couldn't say nigger anymore. Why do they expect white privilege? Why do we accept the micro terms of racist jokes and the privilege that black and brown folks don't have? These dumb rules were only meant for black and brown folks because we didn't belong here when I can swear the original people on American land weren't white. They say we're criminals, that all black folk are robbers, is because we get targeted by the racist cops out on the street. Last time I checked, they can wear a hoodie after dark. So, yes, I'm a black girl with a white mom. Yes, I'm black and always will be black. It's not something I can change. It is something I can embrace and something I am proud of. It's my identity, no matter the way I'm perceived by others. It's me and it's part of me and always will be. I'll say it loud. I am black and I'm proud.
That was Lily Calvert. All right, judges. 3, 2, 1. Let me see those scores. From left to right, I have an 8.9, an 8.8, a 9.1, an 8.8, and a 9.0. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Lily. And give it up for your next poet coming up to the stage. It is Joe Jarvey.
Dear companies, I congratulate you on the great irony of your prophet. It paints quite the beautiful portrait. I wonder how many children toiled in factories so that women just like me could hate themselves in tops just like these. You taught me to keep consuming and consuming and consuming until my gut filled with air, and I was just a kid, but I was so fucking scared, and you kicked me on the ground and you called me pretty while I lost myself, trying to be skinny, and I hate you. But maybe I don't, because everything is broken, and maybe you're not the one who broke it. Last summer, I saved my life from you. And by that I mean I lost my freedom to gain it back. And by that I mean I was in a partial hospitalization program where they told me when I could eat and how much and when I could use the bathroom. It was on one of those nights, crying in my room for what felt like the 1000th time that month, that I wrote this poem. I don't want to be alive. I don't want to be dead. I just want to feel like I'm safe in my own head. This world outside, it's scary and it's red with the blood I can't unsee and the lies that I can't shed. Women scream in my mind, bodies torn down and tied to the violence that we live and the violence that they hide, torn apart for a prophet told 1,000 pretty lies that taste of starvation and a myriad of spies. Can we manipulate them? All the companies ask, and the children keep crumbling under the weight of their mask. It's hunger and it's cold, the burden of their breaking, until it's in the grave. No more money for the taking. They keep killing us and claiming it's with love. Is thinness really the savior from above? I hold it in my body, I hold it in my mind. They take reality, make it impossible to find, but I let them break me. Surely it's my fault for being a product of the market assault. By the time justice reaches your doors, it will be too late. 2 more children will have died of starvation. One, because you told them to. The other, because your pay did not give them the option. Warm regards, Joe.
Joe Gervais. All right, judges, let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up, keep them up. From left to right, I have a 9.0, a 9.4, a 9.6, a 9.6, and a 9.3. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Joe. And keep that applause going for your next poet on the mic is Diana Aspero Camacho.
Beans are the cornerstone of every damn plate in my house. But you would never know that I use fabuloso on my floors or that the comal sits silently in my oven. That the flavors of a culture I've never really met dance on my tongue. You see, I am undercover. All I can do is sit here and feel the rhythm in my bones, the marrow within them passed down in dance, but my body remains a forgotten piece of literature. Could this paper withstand the weight of a wayward identity? Flip the pages of me and say, yes, that is a white girl. You never know that I've got one fraudulent foot on either side of El Rio Grande. The water tiptoeing around my identity, the naughty child underneath the dinner table, the rice at the bottom of the baskets. I am undercover. All I can do, I am undercover, hoping that I, as I am enough in either room I walk in. Can't stop the slurred words of both languages, the hideous accent lurking in dark corners I had thought I had already scrubbed clean with ELD, and you say after me, tell me. What does it mean to be Mexican when all it is an empty title, a half halftime show, a moment of glory slow in the light of the lightness of my flesh. What does it mean to be Mexican when all I can offer you are no sabo sentences, my first language like a rock in my stomach, disintegrating in the passing of time and the acidity of my white girl guilt because you got a daughter in a trench coat? All I can offer you is this weird balancing act. Tip me one way or another, just a painted mule grazing in the green grass, spoiled rotten by the opportunity so many died on the way to achieving. I am undercover. All I can offer you are the beans on my plate and my name on the attendance sheet cut off. Last names too long for the English tongue.
That was Diana Aspero Camacho. All right, judges, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me see those scores. From left to right, I have a 9.2, a 9.4, a 9.5, a 9.5, and a 9.6. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Diana. And keep that applause going for your next poet is Romero Santiago.
Appa, you are not here today in this hall. You're tackling something mundane that you call business. That drives me insane. I just want you to look at me because I'm not sure I'm doing the one thing that I'm always supposed to do. You were right when you said the recipe to better friends was just to give more of my time, and how time has given me memories with the golden hue. When you said effort is the only thing that begets success, now leaderboards and plaques alike have the honor of having my name on them. That there should be no reason I don't walk through the school halls with my chin high and shining bright, so every misfit student and friend sees my smile and knows my name. I'm soaring higher than ever before, Appa, because of you. But now, your arrows named distracted, hyperactive, ungrateful start flying. With that, my wings are clipped. Now my fate's full of doubt and plague because the balance is impossible. I seemingly win whenever you're never looking, and your eyes only catch when I'm stuck in ravines. Appa, look at me stand on the stage as I've done in the past, but now in front of 1,000 more than I've ever done alone. Appa, look at the words scribbled on the page. Too much emotion for a mortal human cage. The words you don't have the time to read. Appa, look at how much I am breaking down for a tragedy that you inspired, that I want you to hear on your ears, but you are not in the crowd today. It's not your fault, Appa, at all. You bring home the money with which we eat bread, a soldier always stuck in the battlefield, but your scars drive you crazy and the machine gun's always blazing, even when you get leaves, so my heart gets cleaved. This is the new normal, where you adults run around like the caged chickens in India that will be slain at a butcher's hand one day. The normal from which no individual is spared to protect all those that they care about. The normal which has swallowed your light whole, Appa. And I am just doing my best to ignite you once more, to pull the words I'm proud of you out of your mouth. But will they stay put for good? It's fine, Appa. You've got enough things to worry about, just like every adult hides their task and call it clout. You will see me on another stage and you will be smiling, right? And I will wrangle pride from your lips.
That was Romero Santiago. All right, judges. 3, 2, 1. You'll already know what to do. Show me those scores. From left to right, I have an 8.6, an 8.7, a 9.2, a 9.3, and a 9.3. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Romero. And give it up for the next poet coming to the stage. It is Eloise Parson.
I am not new. I am a rerun of miracles, a chorus, a rhythm that ripples through blood and bone, a tone, a home I know I've never outgrown. Before I had a name, I had a lineage. I come from them. It hums in me, low and alive, in my curls and the coil, in the way I survive, in the gap of my teeth. The gleam underneath, that glint in my eye that dares you to see me. I come from hands that built empires entire, with no right to retire, no rest from the fire, no door to walk through, just walls. Still they built, still they bled, still they rose where they'd fall. I come from voices who sang freedom fierce and untamed before freedom had language, before it was named. I come from a blind double amputee who still showed what sight can be, how to rise without legs, how to stand in belief, how to move through the dark without needing relief. I come from war veterans, weathered, threaded with scars, with wars in their chests, in their heads, in their hearts, one who carried the sound of the world falling apart and still chose to start love in a battlefield, letters across oceans, inked with devotion that nothing erases. Writing his love through each fire and fight, so she was his home every long broken night. I come from them. I come from music makers, beat breakers, chord shapers, breath into sound, turning voices into anthem, making loss resound. I come from teachers, reachers of minds, light leavers planting sparks in the dark that refuse to decline. Hundreds lit, little suns, one by one into shine. I come from them. I carry them, clearly, severely, sincerely. They steer me, they're with me, and they love me dearly. I stand, chin tilted, unbuilt to be small, and I ask, do you see me? Do you see them? Not the neat little myth with the edges all trimmed, not the softened down story made palatable, dimmed, but the thunder, the under, the pull and the push, the hush and the rush of a life lived full. I come from them. And maybe I don't know if I treasure, if I measure it right, if I'm equal to voices that stretch through the night. Maybe I don't have to match them step for step. Don't have to fill every footprint they left. Maybe I measure up just by moving forward, not back. Breathing what they bled for, threaded in threads they once wore, standing in places they couldn't stand before. So if I'm an echo, if I tremble, if I bend, I will rise again, and I will not end. Thank you very much.
That was Eloise Parson. All right, judges. 3, 2, 1. Hold those scores up high. From left to right, I have a 9.2, a 9.0, a 9.3, an 8.7, and a 9.5. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Eloise. And continue to give it up for your next poet on the mic. It is Gio Colandrella.
Do you know that feeling when you wake up knowing that the morning sunlight is streaming through your window before you even open your eyes? That's how I feel when you walk into my Spanish class. Do you know that feeling when you've had a bad day, you get home, eat something warm, watch something funny and sweet, while sinking into the couch like there's no tomorrow? That's how I feel when you ask me how my day was. Do you know that feeling when you're riding in a car with the radio turned on and the daylight's almost gone, and then on comes that song, and until that moment, you didn't know that that song was what you needed all along, and you stare out in that infinite moment in time, and that's how I feel when I look in your eyes. Because now that you're in my life, I can't stop, won't stop, don't want to stop thinking about the time we could be spending together, about the light that would be never-ending together. I never knew that this feeling was real, but whatever, because holy shit, my life just got a whole lot better when you got seated at my table in Spanish. I want to know what it feels like for us to celebrate together, maybe stay up late together, even meditate and breathe together. I mean, I think I like my B days better, and I think it's because of you. Most people aren't better than 6s, but you're an 11. When you laugh at my jokes, it's like I'm in heaven. You make me feel a world above. Como se dice, I'm in love. Do you know that feeling when it's sunny and the birds won't stop singing and everything's going your way? That's how I feel with every word that you say, and maybe that's not good because you could say something bad, but when I look at that face, I could never get mad, and I don't even know if you ever really notice me, and I should probably tell you how I feel, but instead I'm writing poetry. Do you know that feeling of not being able to stop thinking about the person who sits across from you in Spanish class? Because I don't think you know that feeling the same way I do. And my heart may be as broken as the sky is on a morning when it lets through the light, but I have finally started to understand what it feels like to love myself in a way that is unconditional and true. Do you know that feeling? I hope that you do. Thank you.
That was Gio Calandrella. All right, judges, 3, 2, 1. Let me see those scores. From left to right, I have a 9.3, a 9.1, a 9.4, a 9.7, and a 9.6. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Gio. And keep that applause going for your next poet in the slam. It is Owl Matthews.
Manners. The minute I learned to say no, I learned to say please. Shake hands, be a good girl. Yes, sir, I beamed with pride until she and her didn't feel right inside. But I came out, all better, right? They, them. I was clear, this is who I am. But the she, hers kept coming. They keep coming, and for every day that comes my way, 10 people look at my face and see girl. So now it's my responsibility, my job. I say sorry. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience, but I'm actually not a her, just one person, but I'm they. Sorry if it offends your grammar. Sorry you feel embarrassed. I'm so sorry, and I try to be polite, you know, I really do, but it's hard when everyone's looking at some girl who isn't you. I try to be nice, sensitive, sweet, but sometimes I just want to scream, I am not a she, I am not a her, I am not that girl with the pretty hair and the pretty curls, I am not the doe-eyed beauty of your dreams, I am not woman, I am not flesh on a plate for you to rip apart, I am so sick and tired of being seen as someone that I am fucking not! Ladies and gentlemen, please turn turn your eyes to the whimpering mass before you. It says it's not a woman, but look at it. It has tits, it wears earrings and blush on its cheeks. It is the prettiest, perfectest woman there could ever be, isn't she? Look at how small she is. Imagine what she could be if she discovered where she truly fits, confused, alone, depressed. We know how to make her less distressed. I mean, we all know how to make her less distressed. She says they, please, but she is a misguided fool. All we have to do is force her on her knees into submission. If we call her girl enough times, she'll finally listen. Revision. To God she'll be forgiven, isn't it? Shut up! I am tired of being polite, of bowing my head, tired of saying thank you to men who roll their eyes at me and walk away, tired of being told how I should look at my own body in the mirror, tired of the boys who think pussy is an insult. I am so tired of being your puppet on a shelf. I am not a package to be tampered with. I am not to be stripped of my rights like flesh off of chicken bone. I will not let you swallow me whole. I will not be controlled. I am not woman, but I'm still person, human being, still wake up with anxiety, try to sleep, still fail, still fall, still get up again, still need friends who know me, not girl, not other, just another version of gender. My body is not yours to dismember. My mind is not willing to bend or break to the mistakes of my society, the variety of scars on my soul from those who refuse to listen. I wear them proudly, like badges. I stand tall. I am not your baggage. I contain multitudes. I am thoughts overlapping like hurricanes. I am more powerful than the wind and rain. I am everything. When did I get it into my head that I had to put up with such suffering? The minute I learned to say no, I learned to say please. I think it's about time I allowed myself to get off of my knees. Thank you.
Judges, 3, 2, 1. Let me see those scores. From left to right, I have a 9.0, a 9.3, a 9.1, a 9.1, and an 8.9. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Owl. And give it up for your next poet on the mic. It is Carolina Alonso.
Psyche of the Scorned Woman. You know when you're watching a movie and they keep restarting the day but from a different character's point of view? That's what getting cheated on feels like. I lost my mind trying to understand his. Letting his tears staunch my own. Talking to him was like trying to sew with a knife. I mean, I lost my mind trying to understand his. There are two constants in life. Men lie and always, always believe them when they show you that the first time. I never expected screenshots to become a weapon of mass destruction. You're left pulling together the shrapnel in your head, the image of him that ripped with one girl's DM. And while he's working to spin his little web, trying to kill the clone of himself that lives in your head and her bed like any number of I love yous can make you forget. Somewhere in between breaking down in your car because it's the only moments you have alone and kissing him in that same car when he's back home, it starts to work. And you start to hate her a little too. And he starts to convince you that what you see is not true. What do? When you can't trust your own eyes, when it feels like you're crawling along a wall in a room with yellow wallpaper while other people diagnose you, pity you, patronize your pain because they don't know what it feels like to truly go insane. Men love to keep you trapped in a reality that they create. I had to plead insanity to the court of my friends' opinions. Paid the price of shame every time his name stalled across my lips because I swore I would never be reduced to this. I have a 4.19 GPA. Yet rationality left me, dwarfed my dignity. The strangled siren calls of a man's lies shipwrecked my self-worth with 2 words: I'm sorry. It's intoxicating how badly you want to take that medicine, to be spoon-fed sugary sweet lies, to escape the feeling that you can never trust a man in love, but much less yourself. The best thieves don't stop with your self-worth, they steal your sanity, because if you couldn't see this coming, how can you be trusted with anything? Behind every strong woman is a man who tried to make her everything but that. So when his act almost convinces you that it was all a mistake,
Remember that the only happy mistakes happen in art class, and even Bob Ross would tell that man to go fuck himself. Because while I'm choking on the fumes of his regret, left burning for the fire he started, paying for his crimes while comforting the arsonist, I'm sorry, just ain't gonna cut it. I hope every woman who ever loves him feels their empire built on my pain, but I hope she never feels the way I do. My scorn will never extend to include her, because that was once me, before you.
That was Carolina Alonso. All right, judges, let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up for me. From left to right, I have a 9.3, a 9.2, a 9.2, a 9.0, and a 9.0. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Carolina. And give it up for your next poet coming up to the mic. It is Alita Short Lyons.
Human. I have never been able to find my own heartbeat. I tried for years, 3 fingers over my pulse point, trying to feel the blood in my veins, 2 hands over my ears, trying to hear the blood in my skull, 1 fist around my heart, trying to feel the blood leak out the gaps between my fingers. But it never worked. Until sophomore year dance team, coming off the state floor after spinning songs into stories for a full 5 minutes, and I could feel my heartbeat so intensely I thought it could split me in 2. Despite the heartbeat, I've always been pretty sure I'm alive, I'm human, except that time when I was 9 and read too much Percy Jackson, Keeper of the Lost Cities, and double-checked with my parents in case I was a demigod, an elf, you know how it is. They said they were sure I was human, but I always suspected one day I might find that up there in my mind I wasn't quite as human as they thought. Something a little bit wrong about me. Something a little bit off. I think, therefore I am. An age-old saying, another way for us to justify our humanity to a larger world, and I think, but what if the way my thoughts jumble in my head when I'm lying in bed and I lose track of one on the way to the other? What if that makes me other? I swear I'm a real person. Someone wrote a poem about me once. Does that make me more or less real, more human or more amused? Should I take into consideration that the version of me they wrote the poem about may not be the one I am now or even was then, and does it make me worse if their version is better than I could ever be? Or does it make me real? And does it make me human? Human in the way I cry at sad movies makes me human. The way I sing badly and think I am good makes me human. The way I smile at strangers on the street because we are alive and we are together, even if only for a moment before they're gone. But that was the miracle. We were alive and we were together, and for a moment we breathed the same air. I breathe. This makes me alive, yes? Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And I'm lying in bed, breathing deep and counting sheep. 1, 2, 3. And I'm finally asleep, dreaming of electric sheep, even though I'm not an android, not anything electronic. No, I'm human, I promise, or at least I think. I think. Therefore I am. So I guess I am. Human, that is. Thank you.
That was Alita Short Lyons. All right, judges, let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up for me. From left to right, I have a 9.0, an 8.9, a 9.3, a 9.0, and a 9.2. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Alita. And give it up for your next poet coming to the stage. It is Shawnee Lucas. Give it up.
Do you know what happened to the sunflower that turned away from the sun? It chose to plant its own seeds despite what the others believed. Facing its own path, the sun began to burn the stem to make the sunflower face the sun again. The stem began to burn the stem to make the flower face the sun. The sunflower seeds began to sprout into beautiful things, molded without doubt. Made with no trouble, rich and new, was the only thing the sunflower had to look forward to. While the petals continued to burn and fall askew, battered, broken, and burned, the sunflower refused the others' cruel words for the pain held on its stem. So the sunflower turned to face the moon. Only then did its petals finally bloom. Hold the pain of the disobedient sunflower. It healed finally when the rain showered. The burns turned into scars that stayed forever, not to be forgotten, but to be remembered. Thank you.
That was Ishani Lucas. All right, judges, let me see your scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up for me. From left to right, I have an 8.9, an 8.8, a 9.1, a 9.2, and a 9.0. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Ishani. And keep making some noise up for the next poet on the mic. It is Kamalita James.
After royalty. I pledge allegiance to a flag of the United States of a certain person, and to the republic that isn't mine, one nation, praying to God, feeling invisible. Where is the liberty? What is justice? And is it even for all? Because for as long as I've been trained to put that unknowing hand over my unknowing heart, it's now something someone came up with just to make the words rhyme. And it doesn't seem real. I'm not real, because I have black skin and a big heart with dreams and a body I should have the right to protect. Yet when a random man pointed and asked me what kind of country I was from, I almost said I don't know. I don't know if this land I'm standing on is the home of the free or the blood-soaked soil of the brave. I think the dragged metal across the dirt paths of the moaning men, crying women, petrified children might as well rattle now, and they're deafening. And it seems I'm not meant to be an angry teenager wanting to care for my future and the truth. While grown white men think they have the right to hover over my basic human right to breathe clean air. But spoiler alert, this mouth isn't a convenient hole I so happen to have in my face. My ears aren't just there to listen to adults tell me I don't know any better. So my eyes aren't just these brown orbs I receive from both beautiful sides. So spoiler alert, please rise and face the fact that there are children watching people get killed on the news. With these eyes, I see teenagers worried about going to school and making it out the same day. With these ears, I hear graduating high school seniors use the most recent news topic as their topic at lunch to laugh just a little. But men are being shot, women are being kidnapped, children are being used as bait. And with this weak body and even weaker voice, I can't do anything but watch and cry and hate living on a stolen lie. But I won't totally be silenced, because outside of rage and knowledge and understanding and being riddled with fear, I can write, I can stand, and I can speak. So with this mouth, I pledge allegiance to a flag of the soon-to-be united, and to this beautiful land for which I stand, one nation, praying to God. We are no longer invisible, so let there be true liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
That was Kamalita James. All right, judges, 3, 2, 1. Y'all already know what to do. Let me see those scores. From left to right, I have a 9.2, a 9.0, a 9.1, an 8.7, and an 8.8. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Kamalita. And keep making some noise for the next poet coming to the mic.
known to set all that I touch ablaze. Flaming tendrils left streaming from all in my gaze. I've always found fire to be a strange thing, for as much as people spark it, they're afraid to let it sting. A flame abandoned as soon as it's wrought, a flaming tendril afraid to be caught. I've always wanted the things around me to burn. Not always in a destructive way, but to see the potential it could earn. You see, I used to be a fan of the heroes in Greek mythology, and as much as I love the fantasy, the charms of a white man pushing a rock up the hill never seemed to be the attention grabber for me. 1,000 pages holding morals that seemed just a little bit out of reach. But a phoenix, that was something I could bring myself to believe. You see, I come from a long line of people who have had to live again, who have set their lives on fire and tried to make amends, who have given their lives to a world that would do anything to extinguish their light. And maybe, just maybe, I have something of theirs in my eyes, because the world hasn't stopped trying to tell us that something about us isn't right, because history doesn't repeat itself, but it sure as hell does rhyme, because I see myself in the ashes every damn time. The boat that names the death screams echo syllables that sound just like me. The charred bones on the surface shatter to the same melody I know I'll have to free. How many centuries will it take for you to let us burn free? But I've spent enough of these years burning to know that this world was built on ensuring that I wouldn't make it out alive. History is told by its winners, so for the first time in my bloodline, I will be the one to make it mine. A scorched earth is what you brought to me, so it's what I'll bring to you. And if the ashes look familiar, just know I saw myself in them too. I'll carve my story in the cinders, find beauty in their fading light, sculpt a statue out of soot until it too shines bright, because you can stomp out an ember as many times as you'd like. You can douse it in water and send out your strikes, split our worlds in two with a slice of a stolen knife. But just like myself, my line has left its own trail of smoke. We've grown resistant to every desperate choke. I have been known to set the things I touch ablaze, but in case you're wondering, I wasn't the start of that phrase. We will rise from the ashes time and time again. A blazing phoenix you'll never apprehend. Thank you.
That was Sana Farukli. All right, judges, let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. From left to right, I have an 8.7, a 9.2, a 9.2, an 8.6, and a 9.0. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Zara. We have 5 more poets to hear from in this first round, so make a lot of noise for the next poet on the mic. It is Harriet Lee.
Do you want to play a game? It's called Guess My Letter, X or Y. Did you say X? Because that's what's written on my chest. I can hardly blame you for that guess, but really, I hope we've moved past the binary, so let's play Battleship. 3A, you say it's a miss, but I'll say it's a hit. Because I made you play this game. It's hardly fair of me to let you lose. Plus, my battleship is stuck in the storm, sailing all over the board, and that isn't part of the rules you've born. Every guess of yours will be as random as the one before, which is kinda nice. I mean, you don't understand how ecstatic it makes me when my great aunt asks who the boy in the photo is, when the woman of Versailles says le, not la. But I don't tell them it's because the rules have changed. I laugh and say instead, let's play Go Fish. But I'd never tell you to go fish, because I'd rather deal you a hand of lies and reassurances than one inconvenience. She and her don't hurt like girl does. It's not the words that bury between my ribs, but the idea that they are the only ones you could frame me in. And that box fits sometimes. You're guessing the same, but the answers change, so I say I don't care. So many times, it's just a sound, and I do care. I just care far more how much you like me than how much you misgender me. Is it even really misgendering? I mean, I never told you it was wrong. It's like Have you ever played Mao? The rules are that I know the rules and none of you do. So go ahead, make a guess so I can stuff my head with your shortcomings and soak your hands and every drop of blood you never knew your words drew. It's not fair, but I don't expect you to wrap your mind around the labyrinth that isn't mine, so I give you one rule. You always win. You always win, so you don't even know that you're playing. You don't know you're playing, so you don't know you're letting me lose. But I'm sure it'll all be perfect now, right? Because I wrote a poem about it. Now that I spun my thoughts into clever, extended metaphors, I'm sure you'll understand. I'll force my conceit down your throat and you'll choke and spit out the words I've always wanted to hear. No, maybe you'll just keep asking if I have any queens, no matter how many times I tell you to go fish. Or maybe you'll chew on my allegory for the rest of your life and never dare to open your mouth again. What an inconvenience. And I am so glad I could finally give it to you. Thank you.
That was Harriet Lee. All right, judges. 3, 2, 1. Hold those scores up high from left to right. We have an 8.9, a 9.1, a 9.0, an 8.5, and an 8.9. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Harriet. And give it up for the next poet coming to the stage. It's Marie Cruz Martinez. Give it up.
What is the great America? Liberty and justice for all. Wait, for who? I know it's not all, because not for me or you. Country of freedom, yet I don't feel free. I'm stuck inside of a box of labels, slowly getting smaller and smaller as the one on top crushes it. Oh, but you can't stop it. They won't let you. Do you really think they'll let you achieve your pretty pitiful dreams? To you, it's your dreams. To the rest, it's the future of the damn world and they don't align. What makes you believe they're your own? Put into two sides. Red or blue, rich or poor, left or right, which one will lead you to your demise? Your side ain't mine, my side ain't yours. What makes you think we'll be one side? Oh, that's what they want. And we're serving it up on a delicate, detailed dish for them to feast, putting our damn body on it. Eat the rich, yet they're eating us. They try to act like the rest of us, talking about their family like they get us, but they ain't really us. Because trust me, they talk, and we ain't even on the same level as them. It's the pigs who eat their own shit versus the humans who clean it. Keep falling for the words that sound like freedom and happiness in one place when you know it's just a hoax. Keep living that ignorant, blissful life while people die and fight for our rights. Keep asking why, but I will tell you why. It's our birthright. Maybe not to you, but just you wait. You'll be wishing those words still apply someday. Silence those who speak, chain up those who move, and make sure they can't even see. Especially those who are aliens. Aliens like me. The aliens that are human, but that's just too hard to see. They're inhumane and can't feel like the rest of us. They use their human-like appearance to trick us. They have a family, they work hard, a heart that beats. But you gotta remember, they're still aliens. But I'll tell you right now, the real aliens are the ones above, the ones that say, "Oh, make America great again." The ones that make a speech with words that should be shamed. Instead, they pass the blame and use their fame for things that can't be sane. Now, let me ask you a question. What is the great America? Thank you.
That was Marie Cruz Martinez. All right, judges, 3, 2, 1. Hold them up for me. All right, from left to right, I have a 9.2, an 8.8, a 9.2, an 8.8, and an 8.9. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Mari Cruz. We have 3 more poets to hear from in this first round, so give it up for your next poet of the evening. It is Eliza Evans.
We are 2 suns orbiting each other, so distant yet so close to colliding. Desperately trying to avoid the time we do meet, I prepare for a supernova or a black hole that eats up my heart, turning my pain into some kind of weird spaghetti shape. I don't know what exactly would happen when we meet. I'm not some kind of physicist. I'm more like a chemist trying to understand why our chemistry is so incompatibly compatible. But no matter how much I try, your gravity on me never reaches 0. No matter how far I try to escape into the cosmos, you follow me, you repel me. We're too positive charges. The closer we get, the more I want to run away. You hate me. You know I like you, but that's just not true. I adore you. I think your face is handsome, but your personality disgusts me. I just want to kiss you and punch you too. You act like a sewer rat, and I want a star, but the star burns me and the sewer rat bites me. Both scorn me. Nothing is conserved in this empty system. Ghosts pass in and out of me. Everyone else is a transient being. I try to insulate into my body their atoms leaking out of my palms, dripping as I justly try to cup up their being. We weren't destined, fated yet never meeting. Fancy scientists predicted we crash into one another, breaking my orbit forever, but they were thousands of miles off. Maybe if I'm unlucky, I'll be a temporary moon sucked into your ego's field, then flung off and away into the great abyss of space. I want to hate you too. Better yet, I want to be indifferent to your neutral, to your chaos of a person. You'll forever keep pushing me away. Our space forever expanding at a non-linear rate. Indifference propelling our distance, pulling me closer whenever you need it. I'll be Artemis, and you can be Orion, and why do I like you? Why is your face my perfect type? Why does your personality remind me of the leftovers in the back of my fridge's foul-smelling mystery rot? Why is it that whenever I'm around you, my heart starts to accelerate like I'm a particle in the LHC? Why do I long for something that's not meant to be? You and me, I guess I'm just Sisyphus, and you're my never-ending trial. Thank you.
That was Eliza Evans. All right, judges, let me see those scores. In 3, 2, 1, hold them up for me. From left to right, I have an 8.8, an 8.8, a 9.5, an 8.9, and an 8.8. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Eliza. And give it up for your next poet on the mic. It is Soraya Garcia.
The very things keeping our drinks cold are taking the flavor from our food. A little girl at school with blue paint on her hands, a giant grin on her innocent face, not knowing that her teacher called the bad guys on her parents because she was doing what was best for the country. At home, a mother is crying, a dad is getting beaten by 4 agents who broke down the door because they were refusing to cooperate. Why does one need to cooperate when the aggressor is breaking laws? The dad goes down, taken to the car. The mom, clutching her daughter's doll like a lifeline, screams at the agents. "Stop, I have a daughter, please, don't take me from my baby." But it's no use, just shut your mouth. Your hair is the sign they'll use to drag you out. Gone. Something is wrong. They took our land and covered it up in bloodshed. People get killed just for coming to a country. The new generation of kids are scared. The little girl gets off the bus, skips home, holding a picture of her family, beaming with joy, ready to show her mom. She rounds the corner, slows down, walks up, looks through the doorway. Mom? No sound, no answers, no family. Something is wrong. She starts crying. Mom! Dad, where are you? Who did this? You know exactly who. A corrupted president with red hands that cheated his way to the top. Every problem has a source. All that matters is who you are and what you deem is acceptable. You get killed for putting up a fight. I am scared. You say actions speak louder than words. So why have more people died instead of getting a citizenship they deserved? I am scared that my picture-perfect family will end up like that little girl's. My father was an immigrant. He fought to come to the US, and when he did, he met my mom and they had me. I'm mixed. I have two sides to my life. Both get abused for the culture or an accent or a color. Rubber bullets flying, hitting colored skin. You say this is right. You may think so. So when the coldness tries to take the warmth from our lives, let's stand together, make a wall, block the bullets, and be a light in this dark society. 'Cause something is wrong. Thank you.
Soraya Garcia. All right, judges, let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up in the air from left to right. We have a 9.4, a 9.3, a 9.4, a 9.0, and a 9.2. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Soraya. And finally, we have one last poet in the first round of our slam, so please make a lot of noise for Tabitha Shea!
When you think of propaganda, maybe Uncle Sam comes to mind. His finger, pale and skinny, points at you with bold text you can't quite ignore. I want you. Flashes of red, white, and blue blind, bind, and batter your eyes and ears, coercing you through your unwilling soul and your American blood. It's not the 1940s anymore. War is no longer spread through leaflets dropped from the sky. The TV would discontinue drafts of our unlucky boys burdened by their birth dates. But good morning, America, I am your hero. They shout from your 50-inch television screens, the pixels of their faces blurred together with those of their uniforms. Feel guilt for your blood, not buried into their soil. Do you feel the blame yet? But God, haven't you heard of the benefits? Become a 20-year veteran and imagine all the freedom you'll get. Don't you want that lifelong paycheck and that first seat choice on the plane? I mean, maybe you started for the college benefits, but stayed because you needed somebody to tell you what to do. And who better than your sergeant? Yes, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Please, sir. Help me, sir. How many pull-ups can you do? The men at the fair want to know. Flex your muscles, sweat, cry if you have to. They're writing your name down. But please, Sergeant, don't take me on your trip around the moon. Strap my ankles to the ground to defy zero gravity. I don't want to go on your trip around the moon. My bed sheets will stain in the morning when the siren sounds. I can't. Pretend I'm ill chronically. Doctors say I'm unfit. We don't want to serve these men in their 200-year-old high chairs. Uncle Sam, we don't want to serve you. We know you've heard this before. Do you hear us yet? Thank you.
That was Tabitha Shea. All right, judges, this is the final score you're going to give for this first round. Let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up for me. From left to right, we have an 8.8, an 8.9, a 9.1, an 8.6, and an 8.8. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Tabitha. And while we're at it, can we just make a lot of noise for all of the poets that you just got to see in that fast round? Fantastic. We are about to go into a 15-minute break really quickly. If you are a poet here tonight, whether you're in the slam, you're an alternate, or the calibration poet, during the break, first thing, please come up. We're going to take your picture, so please come to the stage before breaking away to use the bathroom and all of the other things. And also, a reminder to librarians and slam coordinators to also come to the stage for a photo. You do not have to come. Okay, well, we're going to go to the break. That's totally fine. We will see you in 15 minutes. Poets to the stage, librarians and such, we'll see you in 15. Thank you. Okay. Seats, wrapping up those conversations so we can dive into the second round. So, in our first round, we got to see 21 amazing student poets read. Unfortunately, we cannot see all of them go into the second round, so I'm going to read now the order that we are going to see in the second round. If you hear your name, you're going to get to do one more poem in our second round. And again, this is the order we are going to be going into. So, in the second round, in this order, we're going to see Soraya Garcia, Eloise Parson, Ember Malov. I'm gonna ask for cheering so everyone can hear their name. So Ember Malov is third, and then Carolina Alonso, Alita Shore Lyons, Owl Matthews, Mila Gomez, Diana Aspero Camacho, Joe Gervais, and Gio Calandrella. We will see those 10 poets tonight one last time. Now you can make some noise. Yes, absolutely. All right, and just to vamp for just a really quick minute, as a reminder for the poets what they are playing for, again, in 4th and 5th place tonight, they're going to be taking $250 as a prize. 3rd place is winning $500, 2nd place is winning $750, and 1st place tonight is going to win $1,000. Very exciting, absolutely. All right, are we ready to go into the second round of our slam? Yes, there we go. That is correct. All right, so make a lot of noise for your first poet of the second round. It is Soraya Garcia.
See, a diva has distractions. It starts with an idea that leads to hyperfixation, that leads to hours of writing songs, reading books, playing games, watching your favorite TV show over and over just to find something new, and now you have to watch it again. I have ADHD. This means making your brain learn new things that bring you joy, but also makes you procrastinate on something that only takes 5 minutes but gets done 3 months later. But it also gives you something to look forward to when school seems too much. I was a loud kid. I loved listening to music. I honestly used it as an outlet. Now, I can't live without it. But if school gets too bad and I forget school projects, I can learn animation in 2 hours. So sometimes I think, what would it be like to feel medicated? You may think this is better, but that pill that I took would go down my throat and into my stomach, making a pit that took away my love, my passion, my personality. I would be a zombie. I wouldn't eat, yes, I would probably do great in school, but my spark would die. Now you still may think this is better. I'm finally paying attention. I'm done procrastinating. My grades are perfect, but does it count when the accomplishments I make me feel dead inside? This is what it feels like to be medicated. But once I'm released from those Vyvanse chains, my eyes will light up with overwhelming happiness. My inner child will be jumping with joy. I will feel like I'm floating, so I choose to be medicated because I want to have good grades. I want to keep a friend. I want to listen to a conversation for more than 3 seconds before I jump to the next thing, before I can even say what I want to say, but the words get too big that they get stuck in my throat and choke me before they even make it to my lips. But if you ask the right questions, I'll ramble for hours. Though I can't be too loud or I'll forget I'm not supposed to reveal that secret. I'm sorry, my brain is punishing me. I'm losing friends, a connection, a piece of myself. I want to do the right thing. I don't want to drown. So if I was medicated, I could accomplish more. But I would throw away my happiness for a drug, something that feels like a rock against my lungs. Now that I'm 15, I'm starting to believe that my disorder is not suppressing my abilities. I'm just a definitive, hyper-focused diva with a big personality.
That was Soraya Garcia. All right, judges. This is, again, we're going to go straight into it. Show me those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. From left to right, I have a 9.2, a 9.2, a 9.0, a 9.1, and an 8.9. Give it up for the poets. Give it up for Soraya. And give it up for your next poet coming up to the stage, which is Eloise Parson.
You know, I've never understood when people say they're not an artist. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're not an artist? Are you waiting for permission for a gallery wall, an audience to clap for all your work at the right time? For your name to be printed under something expensive? Because I've seen your life, and it's covered in extensive fingerprints. You wake up and decide what to wear. Even if you say you don't care, you still choose something. Colors touching colors, fabrics arguing for a position, that's composition. You text your friend, did you get home safe? And there's a softness in the words you gave. How you add a period or leave it alone, that's tone.
You hum songs you don't know the name of. You tap your fingers on desks, on steering wheels, on your own knee, finding a beat out of nothing. That's music. You arrange your room a little bit. Shift a chair, move a poster to better fit because something felt off, something misaligned. That's design. You know, I think people hear artist and they picture oil paint and silence, serious faces and museums. Like if you're not hanging next to history, then you don't count. But I don't buy that, because you are an artist when you draw a smiley face on a sticky note and leave it on someone's desk to hope they notice it and smile. You are an artist when you pack your daughter's lunch and tuck in a little message, even if it's just good luck today on the page, even if the letters don't behave, that's love you gave. You are an artist when you cook without measuring, guided by heart, just tasting, adjusting, trusting, letting instinct play its part. You are an artist when you doodle in the margins of your notebook, not because it's important or someone will look, but because something said you had to. You are an artist when you make a joke at the perfect time, landing it perfect right on the line, timing it so someone who is about to cry ends up laughing instead from the joy you supplied. There are people whose names we all know. People who painted ceilings or wrote symphonies or built entire worlds out of words. But the distance between you and them isn't what you think it is. They just kept saying yes to the instinct you ignore. The one that says, make this, change that, say it like this instead. That voice you brush off, that's the artist. And it's been talking to you your whole life. So when you say, I'm not an artist, I hear, I've been making things every day of my life, but I don't think they count. It might be hiding under the, I can't even draw a stick figure, but I promise it's there. And I wish you could see it the way I do, because you don't need a stage or a frame or a title. You already have the only thing that matters. So listen, you are an artist when you choose kindness on purpose. You are an artist when you make something ordinary. You are an artist when you leave something better than you found it. And if that's not art, then honestly, I do not know what is. Thank you.
That was Eloise Parson. All right, judges, let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up for me. From left to right, I have a 9.4, a 9.0, a 9.2, a 9.2, and a 9.1. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Eloise. And give it up for your next poet coming up to the mic. It is Ember Melov.
Stuck in this stupid show. In my mind, I'm dancing through this show that is excruciating, this show that is exhausting, this show that I don't even know what's happening anymore. So I'll just try to escape, but I'm stuck putting on a performance. It's like a game where they gather and watch to see when I'll break. Shattered into shards, I'll just pick up the pieces. It's not that hard. But I'm stuck dancing in this stupid show. Spinning around and around, I'm catching fire and falling to the ground. I reach out, but there's no one around. I can't seem to keep people. They keep falling out of my life, off of the stage, except the crowd is constantly waiting to take them, so it's not a matter of if, but when. Into the abyss, they keep falling one by one by one, and I never hear from them again. So now I'm sitting here alone, isolated in my own thoughts. Maybe I'm the problem, or maybe it's the show. I'm spiraling down a staircase made of ash, crumbling beneath my feet. I'm falling fast, and there is no one there to catch my body when it dies. I can't even scream. My lungs are full of lies. I hate it here. I'm tired. I'm overworked. I'm uneasy. I'm fine. Every fiber of my body is screaming in agony. But I'm fine. Every thought is attacking me, but it's fine. No, really. I lied. I have to get out, far away from here, but I'm stuck putting on a performance. I just want the curtain to close. I want to take the final bow. I want to hear the applause. I want to know that I'm okay now. Finally, the show's over.
I hear the applause, and I'm waking up to find that I have to do the whole thing over? Every single day. I don't know a lot, but there's one thing I know. One thing's for certain. I fucking hate this show.
That was Ember Malov. All right, judges, let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. All right, from left to right, I have a 9.0, an 8.9, a 9.0, an 8.7, and an 8.9. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Ember. And give it up for your next poet. Coming up to the stage is Carolina Alonso.
I used to be an angry feminist. I think inside every middle school girl is a revolutionary. Burning rage lies in the eyes of preteen girls. There's something to be said about standing on the precipice of consciousness at the worst time of your life. 13. Your body turning against you just as other people realize you have one. Nothing in this world can assuage the growing pains and anti-fascist rage that festers in smudged mascara and middle school group chats. I used to fight it. Stick it to the man, file Title IX complaints against men who pissed me the fuck off. My mind stewed in moxie. But I think one day I lost myself a little in this patriarchy. I hate the way men mold girls. 'Cause the whole world's set up for them, you can't help but be too. Even though you know, men ain't shit. Until you're not shit to them, 'cause the shittiest thing is you want to be the shit they think about. 'Cause even if their eyes make you want to die, at least they make you feel like a woman. And 13-year-old me would hate to see the girl I've came to be. I'm a feminist till I swear, even if these men make misandry sound so appealing. I don't really know when I started to change, when I got tired of being a revolutionary every day, when I decided being pretty was enough to ignore how men speak. Trust me when I say I'm still full of rage, I'm just quieter about it, which is just how they want you to be. Because nobody seems to care these days, or maybe they just don't know how. I mean, when you watch every student using ChatGPT, slowly killing all critical thinking, I'd love to be being dramatic, really. But we're guzzling the thing that gives us life, in the process taking our own. You have nothing in this world besides the right to your mind, and you're killing it, and we're killing it to save time. But what are we gonna do with all this damn time we saved? We'll have no ideas left in our brain, no sweet, sweet feminist rage, sitting in a desert with all this damn time and nothing to live for. So I'm happy to be the asshole. The one who points out how every time a woman's the punchline of your joke, it's not fucking funny. And the one who yells at you for using ChatGPT because being 17 and not being able to write an email is embarrassing. I mean, I think we all need to be a little bit more like middle school girls, quick to rage, pointing out the problems in the everyday, complain and complain, never apologize. Being the canary dying in this cave until this country starts to listen, everything is as dramatic as it seems. And the only thing that will save this world is a revolutionary.
What to do in 3, 2, 1. Let me see those scores. From left to right, I have a 9.5, a 9.3, a 9.3, a 9.1, and a 9.3. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Carolina. And give it up for your next poet coming back up to the mic. It is Alita Shore Lyons.
Deconstruction. Anything can be a poem if you try hard enough. If you want it hard enough. You, the stranger on the street who will not meet my eyes when I smile at you, you are a poem. The way staring up into falling snow feels like the end of the world, that is a poem. The dissected lily from my biology class, spread across a page, labeled and defined from stamen to anther, made all the more beautiful in the new understanding I have of it, in the way every song is always better on the fifth listen. That is a poem. Moonlight through the window pane, the way secrets are easier to share when you can't see the other person, mourning a moment before it's even over, the way your mouth stretches when you say my name. Your pain can be a poem. It's beautiful now. Isn't it better when it's beautiful? You don't have to hold it as itself now. It's a poem now. You can let it slip through your fingers. Fall to the floor. It's further away from you now. It's beautiful when it's further away, in the way every poem I've ever written sounded better in my head before it came out my mouth, and every poem I've ever written sounded better on the first listen than the fifth one, because every poem I've ever written holds its loveliness like a sponge, and every time I read it, I squeeze a little bit more out until all that I'm left with is a mess of words, a wordy mess that tangles and trips and is no longer lovely, that wrangles and slips, falls down the staircase of my mouth until none of the right words hit the right way anymore, and my prose purples just a step too far, gushing lavender and violet until it's unrecognizable as poetry, until it's just another attempt to sound smarter than I am and wiser than my years, and like someone whose poem sounds just as good as the one in their head. These words I offer to you. They're beautiful. They're separated from me and my irrational human emotion in the way this poem is all the more beautiful to you who does not know me and has not seen the scribbled over draft, in the way the lily on the paper is more beautiful than the one in the ground because it is broken apart. Because it is a poem. A poem about the human desire for destruction, about the human desire for knowledge, about human desire, because I saw a lily torn apart and decided to write a poem about it. I took something beautiful and made it more so in the retelling, because broken glass catches the moonlight better than my window pane ever will, and blood paints so many more canvases when outside my body, and everything is more beautiful in its unraveling. And so I smile at the stranger on the street who will not meet my eyes that fill with snowflakes from staring up into a snowing sky, and I let your mouth shape my name because it means you know me more than most and you still want to know me even if it makes the poem less beautiful. Because the greatest movies of all time were never filmed, and the greatest songs of all time were never recorded, and I tore a lily apart and found the greatest poem I ever wrote wrapped around its stamen and anther, but it sounded better in my head. I tried my best anyway. Thank you.
That was Alita Shore Lions. All right, judges, let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. From left to right, we have a 9.3, a 9.2, a 9.4, an 8.9, and a 9.2. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Alita. And give it up for the next poet coming back up to the mic. It is Owl Matthews.
Lucky. I've not always had an easy life. I've tripped a few too many times. I have the scars to prove it, and yet I am the luckiest person in the world. No competition. My world has only one heart in it. It is my mama. Brave as she is kind, I love her more than I love anything this world has ever given to me because she gave me the world. And fought to take it back again, broke her back when divorcing a man whose definition of love was the red his scars left was pain ringing in your ears from screaming, was teeming down on you until you felt like you were nothing, begging forgiveness. You were certain whatever he did next, you deserved it. He would tear open your ribcage for your lungs, and you would thank him for sparing your heart. This is what abuse does to a person. Twists you until you forget what love looks like. You think what you have is normal, so you say it's normal, not my mama. She fought with the force of a mother, a bear, screaming at a hunter to get away from my children. She's still fighting because abusive men have too much of the wrong kind of hubris. The patriarchy taught them they can get what they want, so they are delusional enough to try and do it. I'm 18, free, but my siblings aren't, and so every day my mother throws her body out to be torn apart by lawyers destroyers and wolves and lions. She sneaks home to cover her wounds before she walks through the door, smiling, even if it's small. It shines through oceans of sorrow behind her eyes. She fights through it. She will not be used, even if it kills her to do it. Sometimes I worry it will, that the stress will boil over past her eyelids and rain acre down her cheeks until she's overcome. This thought keeps me up at night, because what do you do when your earth dies? My mama is the world to me, literally. She pried it from the fingertips of God to cup it in my hand. She is stretched so thin, but every day she gives me herself, gives me everything, because to me, my mama is everything. That's not hyperbole. Because of her, I am more loved than anyone deserves to be. I am so lucky to know her, to be loved by one as kind as her, as strong. She is so strong, carries herself like she knows she can face lions. I compared her to a bear, but in truth, my mama is not one, just human, with a broken body that does not do what it is told. Somehow, she took that mess and made magic in a world that does not permit such wonders. The world was not ready for my mother, and I love her. I wish I could find a better way to say it, for the wonder of my mother, I love you, is sort of an understatement. I'm a poet. There are better words to choose, but I don't know how to capture my gratitude in a poem, so Mama, I love you. Which is to say, Mama, you are so incredible you render poets speechless.
In 3, 2, 1, hold them up. From left to right, I have a 9.4, a 9.3, a 9.2, a 9.2, and a 9.0. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Owl Matthews. And give it up for your next poet coming back up to the stage is Mila Gomez.
Somebody once told me, bad shit's gonna keep on happening. It's time for you to build your capacity. So I did. I got thick skin, but now they say I'm too angry. I only reacted that way because they tried to shame me, so can you really blame me? I know I'm angry. Actually, I don't think I'm angry enough, you see. We keep on trying to tell you stuff, but we're so young, no one wants to listen to us. Poetry is a language of its own. It's not always easy to translate, that's why I'm here to help you see straight. To frame it poetically, the rotting roots of this tree are far too deep. How controlling it must be to demand a say in which way the leaves sway. Translation. I'm tired of this patriarchal system of men thinking they can dictate the way women behave, then turn around and act like we haven't been demanding a change for decades. To frame it poetically, I am a key turning in a lock it was never designed to fit. I am a voice to be reckoned with. I am the resilience of every Latino who has ever come before me. Translation. If you think I'm gonna give up easy, you better second guess yourself. You see, I got tenacious tendencies. To frame it poetically, as soon as I thought we were gonna catch a break, my hands get tied behind my waist and my mouth gets taped as my people get dragged away. And I really like an ETA on, oh, everything's gonna be okay. Translation, it's not. Also, whose America are you making great again? Because no one is illegal on stolen land. Is humanity just like too much for you? To frame it poetically, an audience member once told me he hated poetry. See, he said he was tired of hearing the same damn thing about racism and people wanting to be free. He said he didn't like our cries for civil rights or basic human decency. Translation, he's racist.
He doesn't want people to be free. He doesn't believe in civil rights, and he doesn't have any basic human decency. To frame it poetically, I have put everything into rhymes to make my words more palatable. But you still don't have an appetite? Translation. If you listen to us the first time, we wouldn't have to keep on saying it, damn!
That was Mila Gomez. All right, judges, let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up in the air from left to right. I have a 9.6, a 9.3, a 9.3, a 9.4, and a 9.1. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Mila. And give it up for our next poet coming back up to the mic. It is Diana Asparo Camacho.
My coffee is too sweet, and still I drink it. There is preference. This is reverence, the shadow of you, holding my movements steady like how you taught me to hold a pen is my altar. It's why I still hold on to the warm ceramic like it is something that can hear the way it seeps into me. Like it can hear the songs you sung to me when I was still in your belly. Breathing is the only thing I was never taught to do. To curl myself around the mug is no exception. I could stare out the window all day, standing where you stood. There is a dent worn into the wood where we lean against the support beam and dream of becoming everything they wanted us to be. With the thin trails of steam tickling our noses. Mama, you try to hide it, but I know you miss home. You tried to plant cactuses and they wilted first rain. I am not like you, and you are not like me, but I am still your daughter. But I am still your daughter. I can feel you, younger, running within my veins, freer than I will ever know you. Because I don't know you, not this you. Because we don't know a world where people like us can live without this hurts, living in our chest without this fear, giving us this motherly caress when they came for the panucho lady. Or the women working at the tapatia. I saw their faces and they looked a lot like you. Kind eyes and crow's feet. Mama, you are the color of coffee, I white milk, and apparently that's all that matters. That's the difference between our futures. And Mama, breathing is the only thing I was never taught to do. So believe me when I say they learned to hate you. God, if only they knew. Breathing is the only thing I was never taught to do. I learned how to make coricos. I learned how to make tamales. I learned how to package the white man's food, and I learned to tolerate the way they butcher my last names. And I learned it all by the kindest and most patient sun-stained hands you'll ever know. We do not come as pre-packaged criminals, and breathing is the only thing I was never taught to do. Mama, you're a diabetic, but I still sweeten my coffee because of you.
That was Diana Asparo Camacho. All right, judges, let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up from left to right. I have a 9.2, a 9.4, a 9.2, an 8.9, and
taught me to love quietly, in the little nooks and crannies of life. You taught me the love in a sigh and a nudge as you walk by, and the I love you in our own little signs. My love is often loud, as though shouted off of rooftops, "That boy is mine!" And I want the world to know it, but he's so lovely in my bed and in my arms when I don't show it. And there's more love in his arms than 100 gifts could buy, 'cause it's this sweet boy who holds me when I cry. And when I'm afraid, he loves me in the silence where he makes me feel safe just by knowing he's there watching. And there's more love in his eyes than 1,000 words could claim. He holds my heart there. It's a sweet sort of flame. So I'm learning to love quietly, a new language I've found in the gentle little things that are somehow profound. I hope I find him in a lawn chair on our porch in our old age, eyes warm and gentle, telling stories of golden days, grateful for our last ones, and our love still aflame. Our love is laughter in the morning, sleepy eyes blinking away the night before. Our love is driving home, wishing for so much more. For time is a crucial resource when you've got the world to lose, in a boy who let you taste life and love and passion too. So I will love you quietly, with a giggle and a nudge, and in tiny hidden love notes, and in brief secret hugs. And I will write you poems, and I will sing you songs, but our love is purest in your arms where I belong.
Joe Gervais. All right, judges, this is the second to last time. Let me see those scores in 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. All right, from left to right, I have a 9.3, a 9.1, a 9.1, a 9.2, and a 9.1. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Joe. And give it up for your final poet of Verselandia this year. It is Gio Calandrella. Woo!
Can you hear me? Is this amplification system serving its purpose of advancing sound that is clear coming out of my mouth and into your ears? Check. 1, 2. Maybe this microphone isn't really the thing that needs checking because you all can hear me fine. But when a voice that sounds different than mine steps up to the mic, it needs double the volume just not to be silenced. I don't know why they don't turn that mic up high and mine down low, but I shouldn't be surprised. This is how these things go. I know I'm in the dominant culture, but it just doesn't seem right that some people idolize my type while other innocent lives fear me. Can you still hear me? I'm up here talking about unrequited love when the world's falling apart and someone should be speaking up, don't you agree? But I don't have the lived experience for that person to be me. We're all born how we're born. We don't have a choice. I'm not going to teach you about racism. But I know something about voice because mine is usually louder than the other voices in the room. I didn't choose to be white and male, but our society allows unchecked privilege to prevail. I'm not trying to turn up my mic and turn down theirs. But these levels aren't balanced, so you can see it's unfair. What am I supposed to do with the microphone this loud? If I said something false, would you believe me because you can see that I'm right? I mean, white. The censorship on a tone like mine isn't tight. I don't have to be perfect to even be heard. I don't have to fake security just to get in a word because I was born with a power, like a force field that keeps me from harm. But underneath this Caucasian, I'm simply disarmed. sensitive, lacking a sense of direction, trying to speak for myself when I never even really get to learn. You say you want to hear my story, but it is no longer my turn. I'm trying to be an active ally and use this voice for good. Don't tell me you like my poetry. Just tell me you understood. It's time to pass the microphone to another voice that's more deserving. It's time to listen to more perspectives so that we may continue learning. It's time to recognize that marginalized is not the same as minority, and worldwide our margins take up the majority of the page. So stop just reading in the center. It's time to use our ears for better. So if you can still hear me, stop. Thank you.
That was Gio Calandrella, our final poet this evening. All right, judges, this is the last time I'm going to ask this of you. 3, 2, 1. Let me see those scores. From left to right, I have a 9.5, a 9.3, a 9.4, a 9.4, and a 9.5. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for Gio. And can I hear a round of applause for all the poets we just saw read in this second round? Phenomenal. This is the part of the poetry show of art where math is now going to be happening backstage so we can determine the top 5 poets who will be receiving prizes and ranking this evening. And so, while that is happening, I am now going to share a poem for y'all, if you'll have me. All right. Thinking about what I wanted to read this year, last year I chose a poem that I wanted to hear when I was the age of the poets on this stage, and so I read a poem about my mother who passed away when I was younger, and this is the poem that I chose this year, because this is also the poem I would have liked to hear as a teenager. It is 2021, and my partner is telling me something important, something about professional wrestling, or a phone call with his mother, and 5 minutes in, he realizes that I am no longer paying attention, calls me out for my spaced out expression, and I'm embarrassed. I apologize. I tell him that I am listening now. And it is 2010, and Nate cannot wait to show me Saving Private Ryan over spring break. He's been talking about it for weeks. He makes it a rule, though, that I have to leave my laptop in the other room, otherwise I'll miss the entire film. It is 2008, and a new college friend sees my daily to-do list, all things from homework to chores to taking a shower to brushing my teeth. He says, "You know, that's weird, right?" 2007, Miss Goebel keeps me after class, shows me my latest homework assignment, doodles littered all over the margins. "This is why you are failing," she says. And this is not the first time a teacher has said this to my face. 2005, my dad signs me up for focus classes. They make me memorize numbers, hold so much information in my head. These classes, they never work. 2004, my math tutor scowls when I show her the latest D-. 2002, I am scolded in choir for leaving my chair to dance. 2000, I am sent to the principal's office for reading under my desk again. It is 1998. And I know that something is wrong with me. Already I can tell my brain is a broken toy, fun and colorful, but does not operate like the instructions suggest. I am only 8 years old, and already I know there are so many shards of myself I have to hide. And it is 2022, and my new therapist asks what brought me to her Zoom screen. I tell her that I checked doors 3 times after locking them because I forget immediately whether I did or not. I tell her of my 13-page long to-do list. I tell her that sometimes people speak to me and I zone out and how that makes me the worst kind of person. I tell her I'm worried I'm mean or crazy or stupid, and my therapist says, "Well, it sounds like you might have ADHD. We should look into getting you assessed." And I'm now 35 years old. And for the first time in my life, I do not feel like a cracked plaything. I now say that lists are tools to help me function, that my spaciness is just the way that my mind works, that there are tens of thousands of other people like me, despite what the government would have you believe. And still, there is a child living in my head. She's so worried about what the world will think if they know that she's not like the other kids. She wants to hide under the bed, not go to school today to fail another test, be called weird by the bullies. And I offer her my hand. I pull her to her feet. I do not tell her that she's not different. I don't tell her that there is nothing wrong with her. I don't lie to her. Instead, I hug her. And I tell her that there is nothing wrong with being wrong, that her brain is a galaxy that will one day paint beautiful stories, bring people together, be its own kind of special creation I can't wait for you to see. I tell the child of myself, I can't wait for you to see how much you will become. Don't worry, others may not understand you, but I do. It is okay. I'm here. I'm listening now. Thank you. Woo! Keep going. All right, cool. I was given this motion, and so I'm gonna do some thank yous while math is still happening. So first and foremost, thank you so much to the Arlene Schnitzer Concert Hall for having Verselandia back for another year. What a beautiful space for poetry to happen. Thank you so much, Schnitz. Thank you to our, oh, they have left. Thank you to our judges who have already left. It's a corny thing to say, but I say it at all the shows that I host. We can't do a slam without judges, and I know it's fun to although y'all were very respectful actually, I don't think I heard any boos. Sometimes people like to boo judges. It's a selfless job, and we can't do it without them, and they were wonderful this evening. Thank you to our timekeepers, Scott and Anna, our math geniuses, Jonathan and John, the student team, Mindy and Jackie, and of course, give it up for DJ Mommy Miami. And then finally, I want to give a huge thank you to all of the students that took part in this, not just in tonight, but all of the lead up in the last couple months. Obviously, thank you so much to all of the students who read tonight, all of the alternates and the calibration poet that are also here in the room. And also, if you are a poet who read at a qualifying slam or considered reading a qualifying slam, thank you. Your voices are so important, always important, but especially in this time we are living in. Thank you for writing, thank you for sharing, thank you for performing, thank you for sharing your art with us. And then finally, I also want to thank all of the teachers, all of the librarians, all of the admin, everybody who was there leading workshops, mentoring students, field tripping students here, supporting them, encouraging them. It is so essential. So thank you for your time, your generosity, and am I still vamping? I'm still vamping. I only have one thank you left written down. Oh no, I didn't think I was gonna do any thank yous, because I thought we'd be running late. Anyway, I wanna thank everybody in this auditorium tonight. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. Whether you're here cheering somebody on in particular, or you're someone that comes every year, or maybe this is just your first time and you came on a whim, thank you so much for being here, sharing this night with us. It means a lot. I have had such a wonderful time getting to sit backstage listening to all of the poetry, and I hope everybody else did as well. I am doing a check. I'm still vamping. I did? Okay, thank you. Sure. I want to thank Andrew and Olivia for all of the work that they do, for inviting me to get to come back another year. Thank you to all of the literary arts staff. I'm running out of thank yous. I'm still vamping. Come back next year for more Verselandia. Write some poems in between. Hopefully there are some students here who are going to be high school students again next year, and so please write some poetry, perform, get your poetry reps in, and then just, try to make it for Verselandia. Okay, let's see. Yeah, DJ, do you want to play some tunes? Thank you so much, DJ Mommy Miami. All right, I have the names of the winners. I believe that there's going to be certificates given out. No worries. Okay, so I'm gonna read the top 5 poets. I'm gonna start from 5th and move on to 1st. If you hear your name, please come up to the stage. More pictures gonna happen once the show is over, so please also then stay on the stage to have more photos taken. All right, are y'all ready to learn who are the top 5 poets this year? All right. So, in 5th place today. Can I get a round of applause for Carolina Alonso? Come on up. In fourth place this year, make a lot of noise for Diana Espero Camacho. Whew. In third place, make a lot of noise for Joe Gervais. In second place, make even more noise for Mila Gomez. And coming in first place, your Verselandia winner of 2026, make the most amount of noise for Gio Calandrella. Y'all, thank you so much for coming out. Stay on the stage, poets. Thank you so much for coming out. My name